Hey, welcome back everyone. I have got a knife here today that I didn't think I was going to like. Okay? So, Alex from the Knife Box channel sent this up. Well, I picked it up from him when I was in Southern California over the weekend. And I had done a Rockstead Higo before, and I didn't like it. And I may be one of the only people on the planet that did not like it. And I had some stuff to say about it. I liked some aspects of it, but overall, I just was kind of like, really? So I'm going to link to that one down below, just because I think it's worthwhile if you have not already seen that one, to go take a look at that and compare that knife to this knife. I kind of wish that I had the other one here too, and maybe I will work on that and borrow that one back again and be able to compare the Higo, which is the old one, to the Higo 2, which is this one. Okay? Comes with this sleeve around this nice wooden box. Now, it's a little balsa wood type of thing. It comes with some paperwork, has a nice cutout, and it comes with the tool for disassembling the knife. And the pocket clip, the body screws, and the pivot are all the same, which is super awesome. More knife companies should do that. Okay? Now you'll notice there was no intro and there's not going to be any big editing in this particular video, but thanks again to my buddy Alex for all of his help doing that on yesterday's video. Let me know how you thought it came out. I have heard mixed reviews. Somebody sent me a voice message on Facebook saying they absolutely hated the intro part and that was kind of silly or dumb or whatever they said, Kyle. And I actually heard different from somebody else that the intro was awesome. Opinions are a lot like knife reviewers. Ask three knife reviewers for their opinion on this, and you're going to get 4 different opinions. That's just the way it is, right? So I'm good. I personally don't do a lot of heavy editing. I am not sure that there's a need or a desire for an intro and an outro and all of that stuff, but whatever, right? So forgive my finger. This is bandaged up because of the incident that happened yesterday with the EDC Wingman, or the Wingman EDC MDDK knife. You got to go look at that video if you want to see that. Anyway, as I'm pulling the Band-Aid apart here because it's kind of fraying and that's bothering me, but hey, whatever. Again, live unscripted TV, guys. So this is the Higo 2. Let's dive into it now that I've wasted 3 minutes of our lives. 4 5/8 closed, 8 1/4 overall, 3.56 inch blade with a 3.27 inch cutting edge. It is ZTP 189 blade steel, as best I can understand, even though there's a different number on the back of the blade, but I don't know. The blade thickness is 0.124. Overall thickness, minus the clip, is 0.627. Runs on phosphor bronze washers, and it weighs in at 4.9 ounces. Okay? It's not drop shut by any means, but it's not meant to be. I think it works perfectly fine. And spoiler alert, I absolutely love this knife. Way more than the Higo. This one just works. Now there's some beautiful things about the other knife, and you can, again, check out that video. But let's take a close-up look. It has a mirror polish, like a very nice mirror polished bevel. Satin flats. Nicely done carbon fiber inlay, if you will, even though it's on the outside. gold anodized titanium frame. Higo, and then a 193. So I'm not sure what that 193 is for. Okay. I don't know if it's a ZDP 193 blade steel and it's different than what's listed on the website. I'm not sure on that, but yeah. And the pocket clip, again, like on the Higo 1 or the Higo, is very basic. And it looked way more out of place on the Higo than it does on this one. The Higo was very nicely milled scales, and the just plain spring bent, pocket clip looked crazily out of place, in my humble opinion. On this knife, it works. Now, the pocket clip worked great in your pocket on the other knife, and it works fantastic in this knife also. Okay, the hole in the blade is kind of a manufacturing thing, the way that they grind and do their blades. And the interesting thing about this knife, or the blade grind, and I don't talk about the grinds too much, and maybe I should talk about it more, I don't know, as this one's got some fingerprints on it from accidentally touching it because I wiped it off before the video. This has a convex grind, which means it kind of flares out and comes to a point. Hollow grind kind of flares in and then comes to a point. And I'll put a picture, if I can, kind of up over here, I guess, that I found a good example of 3 or 4 different grinds that will do a much better job at explaining it. And maybe that's all rudimentary, and I don't need to talk about the grinds that much because everybody knows. I don't know. It does have a forward finger choil, but it's not very comfortable. For me, it's not very comfortable in this configuration, but this is very comfortable here. And this is not a knife you're going to do a lot of hard use. And again, I'm not even sure what hard use means. Again, everybody has their own opinion of hard use. I think this is just a great looking blade. Super smooth, even though it doesn't drop shut, and I'm totally fine with that. It's very kind of Sebenza-ish. If you felt that very smooth, glassy feel, that's what this is. Made in Japan. And typically, they do not put pocket clips on their knives from Japan. They just throw them in their pocket. That's why a lot of the Rocksteads don't even come with a pocket clip. So when I was kind of bashing on the Higo's pocket clip, I got some pushback from people that, well, dude, they don't put clips on their stuff, generally speaking, so give them a break. So let's do some size comparisons while I ramble on about the pocket clip. Okay, the Sharpie, no, I'm not going to ramble on about the pocket clip. But this knife is super awesome. I just like the fact, just the Delica, I kind of feel like maybe I should add a Rockstead to my collection. The Kubi KB237. Because it's kind of an iconic knife to own and to have. And if I was going to do it, at least out of these 2 models that I have reviewed, it would definitely be this one. Now, they're not cheap. They're in that 13, 14, 15 and up range. But that's okay. That's cheaper than a lot of knives I have. Sad to say. I don't necessarily love the made in Japan on the clip, but that's just me. So I don't know. I just think these are very classic knives. I think they're built incredibly, incredibly well. And maybe at some point I will add a Rockstead to my collection. I don't know. I'm kind of going through. I did just buy a couple of knives. I know I haven't bought anything since the Frank Fisher battle in March of 2021 because it changed me. I don't know that I need any more knives after that, right? But 2 buddies of mine are looking to buy watches, and so they each sold me a knife because I'm kind of a sucker to help drag people into yet another collecting hobby. So I have bought 2 knives. One has already come in. and I sent that off to a customizer, if you will, to do some work on the pocket clip because the pocket clip kind of sucked. So I'm having him kind of grind that out and make it so it will actually work in my pocket. Outside of that, I love that knife, and I will be doing a review on that once it comes back from being worked on. And the other one I bought is an Odin's Custom, and that is shipping out to me today. So I will have that here shortly as well, and I'm super excited to check those out because I have been talking with Jim, the owner of Odin Customs, for a long time. And I finally was able to pull the trigger from a buddy, so it's a secondary market knife, but super excited to see this one. Full dress, it's very nice. So just a couple little tidbits of what you got to see in the future. All right, thanks everyone. I greatly appreciate your time. Alex, again, thank you for setting this up. And as always, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.